Dogs are friendly, they'll not do anything.
Really? Good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
That is the guy for all the free questions.
My name is Rajiv Barwa. I'm a fourth generation planter on this estate. Our family's been in tea since the early 1900s. It was the first Assamese tea family, and we had quite a few properties which got divided amongst the brothers and relatives. So we had two estates left with us. So I live in one of them. The other one belongs to my sister. Yeah, my family acquired this from a Scottish company in 1904. 118 years in the family now.
Okay.
And I'm the fourth generation. The bush is only one variety. With that same variety of bush, you can make different kinds of tea, like green, oolong, orthodox, white,
Okay.
CDC. It's a processing.
How much large is it in acres?
500.
500.
If they had urban driving as an Olympic sport.
And what time do generally tourists visit you?
It's winter in the Kaziranga when it's open. But that's the foreigners, basically. Kaziranga is related to the foreigners. But post-pandemic, it's the Indians have gone on with a vengeance they're traveling. There's a lot of Indians coming in.
A lot of Indians coming. So what exactly is a typical itinerary for an Indian client when it comes to you?
They come to Sibsagar, they go up to Nagaland, Arunachal. So Jorhat is not really a destination so far. It's more a gateway.
So it's basically a transit place.
Transit place. But the airport being central over here, like you got Sibsagar 1 hour away.
But Shivsagar wasn't very exciting for us.
And a lot of people do religious tourism, like the Bandhas and all that.
The Shiv temple.
Shiv temple.
That was nice.
Then we do Majuri. Kaziranga is just a getaway.
How
Like
far is the airport from here?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. And how far is Majuri from here?
Majuli by ferry will take you 1 hour.
Is this place open for event purposes also?
Yeah.
What kind of events people prefer?
Anniversaries, weddings, parties.
But you don't have that kind of inventory for weddings. Where would they stay?
I've got 7 rooms. No, not for. They've stayed in the other properties also.
Where are your rooms?
That's it.
So I might be contacting you for wedding purposes.
Sure.
I will be taking your details later.
What you get over here is very different from what you get in the market, which is a blend. It's blend between different qualities, different regions. They make a economic blend of it so that they can be consistent year round on the volumes. So the difference over here is that this will be completely a different palette.
Is there like first flush and that kind?
We have first flush, second flush, but right now we are doing the autumn flush. What we have in stock is the autumn flush. Going from the back.
Domestic guest to 2 nights or 1 night? Do you typically stay in the
They go out.
accommodation or do you typically go out?
This is the common dining hall. Dining area for the guests.
Okay, very nice.
This is the complex.
This is the 4 rooms.
Okay.
Then we have another unit in the back, the smaller rooms, we use 3 rooms. And that house is 2 more rooms, independent fine dining, 2 bedrooms of it. That's it there. In the work in progress.
What's the price between these?
These are Varadali 7,500, it's 2 rooms. have quite a few units online.
These are all inbound agents. They're more incoming. We focus on domestic.
So, sir, from you said from one bush, we can make different teas. How is that possible?
It's the processing, like in CTC tea, it's the oxidization that gives it the color. In green tea, we steam the leaves. In oolongs, it's semi-oxidized. Where orthodox is again oxidized, but not as much as CTC. Because the cell rupture is not there, it's rolled, it's not cut.
So, you said that this is much better than other kind of flavor teas.
But this is a single region, single estate tea. It's not
Okay.
blended with different regions.
Yeah.
But in the
So
market,
what-
what you get will be a blended tea between maybe a South Indian or
Okay.
South Indian Assam or some other regions.
Okay.
And varying quality, some are cheaper quality and some very expensive quality to make economic blends.
Okay. I thought you were making something different.
No. If all the tea estates over here will have that single origin flavor.
Recommend that second is the best one. But it's a misconception that first one is usually the most pricey and the most.
No,
Okay. And autumn is the third. So price wise, they are the same or they are different?
slight difference, very slight difference. But your second flush is a very short window because if we don't get the rains, it's barely for 1.5 months that we
So can we get to taste first, second flush?
do. I don't have second flush.
Is it local fish? Local fish, but it's boneless.
The tea bush is called the Camellia sinensis, Assamica. So that's the variety that's grown in Assam because the soil is plain and the temperatures are different over here. With the soil being plain, the water retention is there. So we need this different, like now earlier there were seed varieties. Now we have micro and stock variety. We have the Tea Research Institute in Jorhat, which is more than 100 years old. They've been doing a lot of research. And tea is a continuous learning process with climate change and new pests coming. And we have bushes which are drought resistant, which are high productive, which are pest resistant. So in a certain area we put 20% of each variety of strain of the same Camellia sinensis Assamica.
Okay.
And if you look across the pond, the tall shrubs that you might see over there with some dead weeds, that's all tea. If you do not prune it, that will be a tea tree. So that is just to showcase it.
That's
And
a tea. That's a tea tree.
Yeah.
Is
Same
that
thing. If we do not
tea tree?
prune it, like if you look at it over here, we keep pruning it.
Yeah.
This is where we pruned earlier. Then this is where we pruned later. So stage by stage we step it up. And when we cut a branch, say over here, we get a lateral coming out from this side. So that's what actually gives you a larger table with more harvesting points. And the tea that we harvest is every 7 days. We divide the garden into 7. And what we harvest on a Monday, we come back to it next Monday.
Okay.
So that the growth of 7 days is what we get. Now if there's for some reason there's a holiday in the middle or 2 days of holiday, then we have to step up the workforce, get contractual workers to cover that area to come back to the 7 days as soon as possible. Keep the quality. Now this is not what we harvest, this is just what we make the tea out of. It's 2 leaves and a bud. This is the bud and these are the 2 leaves. But these are maybe 1 or 2 days old. We'd go for something 7 days, which would be about this big.
They grow fast.
Yeah. So depending on the weather.
What tree is this?
These are shade trees that we have to filter the sun. So because otherwise it will be scorching on top of the leaf and get burnt. And this is a new pest that has come over here. This is a very painful pest. We are still trying to learn how to handle it. It's called Planter'S. It's a tea mosquito.
Give the malaram.
Yes, I could sell you some. Sorry, that's a little joke that we were having between
So this
ourselves.
is the hole that you see. It's like a normal mosquito bite. It takes out the juices, and even the mosquitoes go for the better varieties of bushes. They prefer the they also prefer the quality of the soft leaf. So what we do is to control this, because we still don't know. They hatch the eggs in the bud, inside the bud. Like over here, it's not there, but they hatch the eggs over here. So depending on the temperature, the eggs could hatch in 15 days or 21 days. So suppose we spray one round of pesticide, we don't know whether we should come back to 15 days or 21 days. So it's just a matter of experience. We're still learning, and we normally try and do it. The spraying is done after we harvested the area. Whatever leaf you have to take.
So if you harvest this with the pesticide, it's no
No,
longer an organic
after we
tea.
harvest it, say we
So
harvest
it's no longer organic tea.
The tea is not organic anyway over
Tea
here.
is not
because
organic.
You got villages and all over here, and the wind is carrying other kinds of things. You need a buffer zone for the whole area has to be organic, to be certified organic. Just one state can't be unless you have a huge buffer zone around. So what we do is when we spray after we harvest it, we come back the next day and we spray it. So the new shoots that come out do not have a trace of any of this. We're taking the new shoots, a 7-day shoot. So the new shoot does not have any trace of the chemical. And the 20 odd chemicals that we allow, and buyers nowadays they have machines where they can check trace elements of pesticides. If it is found, not my manager, but I'm liable to go to jail. As an owner, I'll be behind bars. They're very, very strict and stringent on this.
Have it according to that season that you.
A single estate tea, the seasonal variation is not huge in flavors, but a single origin or single estate tea is always way better than drinking outside. I'd rather drink coffee if I'm outside. And drink tea at home.
You don't drink coffee.
When I'm outside, yeah, I prefer coffee.
You can't do that.
Or if you're making CTC teas, like this kind of teas, we put it into the CTC machine. The CTC machine is crush, stir and curl.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it's called CTC.
CTC, yeah.
Orthodox is called Orthodox because that time that's the Orthodox way of manufacture. They didn't have the CTC machine.
So when they call that, when you leave the tea leaves open,
You don't leave it open. You have to roll it, and the buds get rolled
I
inside.
suppose I keep this one, and after keeping it for a period, we use it, the flavor has gone, or it got oxidized, or
घर की बात कर रहे हैं कि घर में पड़ा हुआ ऐसा फ्लेवर निकल जाता है.
The tea is very. It'll take in any flavor. If you got any masala next to it, it'll absorb that flavor. So tea.
I'm saying if you keep the tea separately with the not the sealed pack, it becomes little bit open.
Depends how
And
long.
got-
Like in an airtight jar, not a plastic jar, but maybe a ceramic or a glass.
So if it has got then it lose the taste.
Lose the flavor, no?
Any particular reason? Due to oxidization or?
Not oxidization. It's just very
यार
hard.
आप परफ्यूम को खुला छोड़ देते उड़ जाते हो. नहीं वही बात है, एग्जैक्टली वही बात है. फ्लेवर इवेपोरेट हो गया.
I'll have to ask the why it happens. Good question. So this is the broken variety. Like for the CTC, we cut it with the CTC machine. For the Orthodox, we oxidize it. That's why it's dark in color. Green would not be dark. And then it is rolled in a rolling machine. There's a process of rolling. So the leaves get twisted and the bud gets inside the leaf. The main flavor is there in the bud.
Not in the leaf.
Leaf also has, but the main flavor is there in the bud.
Okay.
That's why white tea is so expensive, because you're making only the buds. And that is the compromise value for the rest of the tea. If you remove the buds, your other tea is going to lose quite a bit of the flavor. So that's a compromise value for the thing. So when we are tasting teas, we look at 3 parameters. One is the color of the tea. It should be black, clean, because if it's long, it has fiber. The fiber will make it brown. Like this is a much later tea, it's slightly brownish, you can see, compared to this. You can see the specks of fiber here. This brown fiber. Yeah. So this should not be there. The next is the infusion, what you brew the tea with. We look at the infusion. This infusion should be coppery. It should not be green. There might be specks of green in this. If there's green in this, that means it is not fully cooked and the moisture content is high, which in turn for a packeteer or blender would mean that the shelf life of the tea will be less because there's moisture in the tea. From the 100% we come to 70%. Then through the drying process, we try to bring it down to 2%. Between 2 to 3%, the moisture should be there in the tea. Otherwise, if it's less than 2%, even 1%, it becomes very brittle, the tea will break. So a little bit of moisture is required, but between 2 and 3%. And then we look at the liquors. The liquor could have different flavors to it, the strength, the flavor, if there are any external flavors to it. Like suppose my dryer, there's a smoke leak somewhere, and the smoke flavor has come into my tea. So that tea would be discounted.
Okay.
So as a buyer, he'll look at these 3 parameters and then decide to buy the tea. And they taste thousands and thousands of cups every day. Because there's so many estates and so many different packaging, like one package is 30 likes. So they're tasting each lot of 30 or 60, multiples of 30 it is. So if you're making good teas, you got to make sure you're making good teas. If you're making bad teas, make bad teas.
So when the people say too much of the tea is bad for the health.
Too much of everything is bad for us. He's selling tea. He's selling tea.
Because usually this is a question everybody says.
Too much of everything is bad for health. Even Jensen's.
3-4 cups a day, then it's not good. More than 3-4 cups a day. So when the tea taster is already doing.
No, he is not. What they do in tasting is like.
Don't do the tea tasting, they put it through the tea.
You're quite right, really. Too much whiskey.
When you keep spitting it on,
It's
so
bad.
you slop it.
Anything
You draw the oxygen through your mouth.
The right amount.
Then the oxygen react with the liquor, and then that gives you the flavors of the tea.
Okay.
आप ऑफिस में से चाय मत
Add some Jensen to your tea today. See how it works.
Must have knowledge here.
Daughter got married.
He noted the
She started this company making single origin tea, shipping from here to the rest of the country. And then she got married and found serenity. But yeah, she had a brand called Serenity.
Wonderful. Great.
Any questions?
Sorry, I wanted to smell the tea.
Yeah,
so
please
that-
smell.
should be in
That is
your-
a part of
that
your.
should be in your line.
No, that's a part.
You can taste some of the spoon if you want.
So what is the most popular of these?
In India, it is this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you export much?
It is exported.
Yeah.
It is exported, yes.
A taste this one?